who is with us. We have from the office of Congresswoman Susan Davis, Danica Goodwin. From the office of Congressman Duncan Hunter, Mr. David Knoll. We also have several members from the SDSU community, from the College of Sciences, from Career Services, so let's give them all a big hand. Thank you for coming. We have somebody who we hope to continue to work with very closely, Mr. Jose Cruz from the Barrio Logan College Institute. And we also have several colleges and universities represented here this afternoon. We have University of San Diego, University of California, San Diego, Cal State University, San Marcos, Palomar College, San Diego Mesa College, Imperial Valley College, Wahupa Educational Services, and of course we have San Diego State University. I'd like to say before we begin also a very special thanks to the committee that made all of this possible. We worked very hard and we hope that you're enjoying your event so far, and we hope that you continue to enjoy it. But we had several meetings, so hopefully you're enjoying everything, yes? Yeah. All right, good to hear. Special thanks to our colleague in the TRiO programs, McNair Director, Veronica Beja, she's around here. Angelina Scoli from the Pre-College Institute. Becky Esparza from the Talent Search Program. And the beautiful slideshow presentation by our, person who always does the best work, and whenever I need something really professionally, very nicely done, I send it to him and I said, his name is Manny Uribe, and I say, can you manimize this? And he does it. He does a great job. So at this time, I'd like to go ahead and ask you to please help me and welcome me. The person who's going to be doing our formal welcome, Associate Director of the Educational Opportunity Program, Ms. Wendy Craig.
Opportunity Program in Ethnic Affairs here at San Diego State. I welcome you, and I'm really excited to be here because I think it's a natural alliance that EOP and the TRiO programs work together closely. I've been here 3 years, and I think over the last 3 years we're getting closer and closer and closer to working together on a regular basis, and it's very exciting because I've actually worked at all levels of education, and a lot of times there's a disconnect, and so it's really important that we have these alliances and we have these collaborations with each other. Very briefly, I always like to remind people or tell them for the first time that the EOP program it emerged out of the civil rights era, and it emerged because there wasn't access to education for a lot of students. And as we're facing these budget cuts and these kind of terrible times right now, I always like to remind students of your power, because EOP was created by students. It wasn't created by administration or universities. It was created by students who saw the need and they fought for it. And I just want to keep encouraging our students today not to sit back and to keep fighting for your right to education, because it is a right, it's not a privilege. And I always have to do my social justice spiel for EOP. But I want to remind you that in the climate that we're in, it's very encouraging to see these students. It's encouraging. I got to talk to a couple students who are going to UCLA and Berkeley, and that's very exciting, and I congratulate you and every one of you. So again, on behalf of EOP and San Diego State, I welcome you and thank you for coming today.
So on behalf of the San Diego and Imperial Valley TRiO Alliance, we'd like to present the Certificate of Appreciation presented to Educational Opportunity Program for your contribution in making the third 3rd Annual San Diego Imperial Valley TRiO Alliance Luncheon possible, presented this 30th day of April 2010. So now I'd like to go ahead and introduce a lady who I think everybody probably in this room knows, and she is the one who makes everything happen. She is a visionary. She comes up with some great ideas and great collaborations and has great vision, and then she tells us to go ahead and make it happen. So she is our visionary. She's our leader.
It's really exciting to be here at the 3rd Annual TRiO Alliance Luncheon. And it's great to see all of you here. And isn't this a wonderful venue that we have? Let's give a clap for this venue. I'd like to thank DOT for their sponsorship and help in having this venue for us. I would also like to remind everybody that's part of the TRiO Alliance that we are universities, but we also have a private nonprofit, and we're looking forward to have additional membership from another private nonprofit in Valdez, Logan. So we're hoping very much that Mr. Cruz will think about joining us. And those of you who don't know Mr. Cruz, just have a stand up so everybody can see him. So, in science, in education, in psychology, yeah? In psychology. He was an McNair student, as well as, you were Mark also? Yeah, okay. So I've got all of that now. I'd also like to say that for all of us in the Alliance, we should probably try to meet one more time before summer programs start, before the end of May. We need to really, in these times, chart out what our next year is going to look like, and look at what the threats are to our funding. And those threats include the specter, again, because it comes up every so many years, of block granting our money to the states. And I just want to say that that's probably not going to be good for the robustness of the relationship between universities and local school districts. That's so important in terms of motivating our students to go to college. So I just want to put a plug in there for all those people who represent Congress people to understand we don't want block funding. We don't think it's going to be helpful to us. Then I was like, and there are other things. We've got to think as an alliance of how we become more embedded and integrated into the universities in which we're in, and to form alliances with all of those folks that have similar objectives to our own. So we know who the next group is, whose turn it is, and somebody from our office is going to get in touch with you. But it's a private nonprofit, I'll tell you that. Okay, so let's go on to what we're here to do today. And we're here to do today to get some inspiration and some insight from somebody who I have a great deal of admiration for and who I have worked with for the past 3 years. Mr. Felipe Wessel has a background that makes him an ideal role model for every student and every person that's sitting in this room. He comes from a very large family. He was brought up in the barrio Logan. He went to a very nice high school, and he might tell you about that if you ask him. And he also went to UCLA and got his bachelor's degree and his law degree. He also understood what it meant to go into the law and what you needed to do to be successful. And one of those things was that he did an internship with a federal judge in my home country of Puerto Rico. So, and there he met his wife, and he also has a daughter who is there now and who is studying law in Puerto Rico, so he's very pro being totally bilingual and bicultural, and it has certainly come in handy in his practice. One of the most important things that he's done that makes him someone that you can really listen to is that he was the founder, along with a few other people, but he was the spark and the driving force behind the founding of Inter-American College, which has its campus in National City, and which